What? Hello. Happy Tuesday. Happy stream week. Beginning again. Hope everyone's doing good. I'm excited. We got a very important trial that Naomi was so upset that I didn't start last week. But we're here now to do it. So look forward to it. Oh, wow. Just don't mind while I vibe a little bit. Wait. Ah! Shut up. Wait, what? What the fuck, Naomi? Why? How dare, but heck, thank you. 32 months now. Oh my goodness, we're almost at 3 years. Oh, wow, it's been too long. It's been so long. Well, I guess I'll shut up. I'll worry about the other part of that later. Because we got a game to do. We got a case to solve. And who knows how this one's gonna go. I honestly... It's so wild how personal this case actually is. Alright, part 1. Twisted Karma and his last bow. So we last left off with... Our poor Inspector Gregson is dead. Baruch is the defendant in this case. It's kind of wild. It's that old familiar feeling again. Crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Only difference being... Actually, no. It's a little different today. There's an even more menacing tension in the air. There is a menacing tension in the air here today, isn't there? I suppose... Yes, I think so. Yup. Can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant. Oh, Von Zeeks, a little more courtesy, if you please. Oh my, I do apologize. However, you're certainly not mistaken that this trial's far from ordinary. What do you mean? I'm not privy to the details, however. I understand that no jury's been... No jury? Oh? A trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago. Closed court. Good morning, my dear fellows. Sholmes! Hey, how you doing? How was your investigation? Oh my god, your hair is back to normal. Mr. Sholmes! Have you made notes of my hair, Mr. Naruhodo? An outright victory for science, must agree. To be perfectly honest, so much happened yesterday that, well, I completely forgot about your little hair problem. Ha! What to one man is a little hair problem is to another a day of drinking dubious potions after dubious potion. You have no idea how my stomach ails me this morning. Oh dear, how awful for you. I'm afraid you only have yourself to blame, Mr. Sholmes. And good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. Do I see you looking so full of vim? And you. I see London's celebrated great detective is as active as ever. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow, compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases. The Reaper's overbearing presence is a far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital. And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there is at least one point on which I would readily commend you. What an honor that would be. Your eye for a good lawyer, sir. Mr. Sholmes, after all, behind this lawyer there's a very great mind, my own. What are you trying to say? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper. Oh? Sorry to barge in. Oh! Nikitoba and Gina. Gina! What's that on her arm? It's a mourning band, I suppose? Oh. Father! Shouldn't you be at the symposium? It's been postponed, so I have some free time. I decided to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action. Oh. I shall be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year. Well, it's honored to have you here. Let's hope there are some fruits to see. Oh, Gina. Otto. Oh, yes, Gina? Why'd you agree to this, eh? Why'd you take him on? This Reaper bloke, everyone said it was him what killed the boss. I'm sorry, Gina, but I just don't believe that. If it weren't him, who was it? I don't know that yet. I don't care who calls him what. Reaper's just a name. He's just a person at the end of the day. And if it turns out it was him who killed the boss, then God help him. Fiery eyes indeed. Yes, the culprit deserves every ounce of her loathing. Eh? At least that may be some souls to the deceased. Please, Otto. Get whoever did this for the boss. Oh, Gina. I hate feeling this useless, but there's nothing I can do. So you've gotta find who's done this and make the wretch pay. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court will be in session shortly. Make your way into the courtroom at once, please. Alright then, here we go. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. Lord Von Zeeks? One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer? The one who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of law? And one who lost the man who helped her escape destitution? All that misfortune, all that pain on course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine a light on all these dark events. whatever truth is revealed, I'm going to have to look it straight in the eye. Why show Shomes last? I don't like that. That's suspicious as fuck. I don't like that at all. It is close court. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant, Barak von Zieks. Counsel for the defense and prosecution, are you ready to begin? The defense is ready, my lord. Oh, there's still a crowd, just no judge. The prosecution is more than ready. I've been wishing to see you in court again for so long. It feels... I never pictured it happening like this. I never thought I'd be facing you behind the prosecution's bench. So-called Reaper of the Barely. It's a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind this scourge. In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Gregson's murder. The truth revealed by these proceedings may have unpredictable repercussions through the judiciary. Accordingly, they are to be conducted as a closed trial with no members of the public present, by Her Majesty's direct orders. Ah, okay, so this is even the public. The general public. So, like, people like Mikatoba and Shomes are still allowed. How will that work, my lord? The burden of all arbitration and adjudication falls on my shoulders. Therefore, as you will see, the jurors' bench shall remain vacant today. Good, less voices. The members of the public are present. May I ask who's currently occupying the gallery, my lord? We are members of the judiciary here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial. Members of the judiciary? Hi, this is a very unusual trial already. There is of course another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings on which I must elaborate. Counsels for the prosecution and the defense are both aliens of Great Britain. That is true. Very true. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain. This is the reason why I had to come to Britain. Kazuma? Very well, let us commence proceedings. Prosecutor Asogi, your opening statement, if you please. Certainly, my lord. The incident took place on 1st November at just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Location was a building of flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property. Yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson, a name known very well indeed to this court. Not least for its miraculous resolution of one of this country's grimmest cases 10 years ago. The Professor case? How sure are you about the time of the incident? Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and all have reported at the same time. Yes, that's what Gina told us too. There were a number of witnesses. I have here a plan of the room. Okay. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantly. Oh! Well, at least he didn't suffer, but damn, point-blank and instant death? That's a strong gun to do that. How has the range been determined? There were scorch marks around the entry wound. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet. Our high enough to leave scorch marks was only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point-blank range. see, yes. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Council. Ah. That was instead resulting from a bullet shot at close range. So they're going to say this because Gregson trusted Von Zieks. He would not expect a gun to be put up against him, basically. The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. And have you managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm? No, my lord. Not conclusively. Bravo, Kazuma-sama. We're not trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance can't be proven. Furthermore, my lord, I think the bullet was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. There's a candelabrum mounted on that wall, and the tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile. I'm glad Cosma, at least right now, isn't jumping to wild conclusions right off the bat. Like, he's properly going through everything. Because he could have just said that we're pretty certain that it's Von Zieks. Which we don't know that. We noticed that too, didn't we? Yes, that's right. Thank you for the thorough report, Counsel. The setting of the crime is clear to me. You will submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Alright, we got the crime scene floor plan. Is this Fresno Street room Inspector Gregson's private abode? No, my lord. The room is rented to a Mr. Hugh Boone, but there is precious little furniture inside and is generally in a poor state of repair. So what on earth was Gregson even doing there? Presumably he was investigating some case or other. When a policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene, he found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside, holding the revolver. Wait, what? He was holding... Oh, right. The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot. Right, because he picked up the gun like an idiot. So, the details of the case are clear. In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Name, please, counsel. Naturally, he accused himself. Oh! Lord Von Zieks? As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of office he's taken and will be compelled to tell the truth. Very well, let the defendant take the witness stand. Okay then. Wild. So, witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Barrick Von Zieks, Old Bailey prosecutor. I presume, Lord Von Zieks, that you heard Prosecutor Soki's opening persists. I did. It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, and that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this? Yes, my lord. Then I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why you were there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question. And what exactly took place. I intend to explain away nothing. I will simply tell the truth. I must say, Lord Von Zieks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come. But since you became known as the Reaper, a part of me has been dreading it. It's how it be. Your formal testimony then, witness. I'm honestly really glad I have so few voices to deal with this time. It's a little simpler. The facts of the incident. Okay. Why does the music sound different? Oh, well. know if it was just me, but the music sounded a little, it's like the tone changed a little bit. It might just be me. I was investigating Gregson and my inquiries that led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside. I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body Inspector Gregson appeared before me. That testimony was the whole truth? It was. So, you heard a shot being fired in a room with no living occupants. No, it totally isn't. I don't know what you mean. But no, it is. Hi! Yes, it is. How are you doing? My god, you followed me. I just clicked. You followed me years ago and you haven't chatted once. That's wild. That's funny. But hello, hello. I heard a shot being fired in a room with no living occupants. Yes. And moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes. Is that it? You're right. You haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse. It is what it is. I thought you were my mute apprentice. Yeah, it turns out you have a way with words. Prosecutor Isogi. It would appear to be a singular tale indeed. Singular isn't the word. It's laughable. What's got into Kazuma? He's not behaving like himself at all. Sato? Very well then. Counsel, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. Alright. Let's start doing some pressing. Inquiries that led me to that address, alright? Hold it! You were investigating the inspector? What on earth for? I'm not at liberty to say. Sorry? I'd identified a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in the case I was investigating. Incredibly, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed. Is the court to understand then that on the day in question you followed the victim to the scene? No, I was privy to his movements in advance. How? I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. What? Wow, you stealing diaries? How naughty. You can't just do that. The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m. entry. You illegally entered the man's office? In Japan, that alone would constitute a very serious offense. As it does in Great Britain, I assure you, set that case, Lord 1-6. I was aware of the possible consequences. So, in summary, you were investigating the victim. No, you still don't steal. That's bad. No. Yet you refuse to tell the court why. I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath. Why did I ever think I could defend this man? Oh no! To present the room that day, it was dark inside and saw no one. Hold it! Have you ever been to that address before? No, never. I only learned to the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make out anything. 1 p.m. the sun only had just gone down. It must have been reasonably light outside. The room has a window, but it was boarded shut. Very little light found its way into the room from outside, so it's extremely murky inside. I wouldn't have noticed if the victim was already lying on the floor. There was no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure? I'm quite sure that the part of the room where the body was found was very dark. I have a feeling there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, but I couldn't say for certain. Look, Mr. Naruhodo! There is a small desk in the room just here. Yes, I remember, and there was an oil lamp on it, as well as the framed photograph. When I entered the room, I closed the door behind me and started towards the desk to investigate. And what did you find? Nothing. I never actually reached the desk. A moment later, I heard the gunshot, I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Hold it! So, who fired the gun? I have no idea. I didn't see anybody else in the room. But you say it was very dark in there? Yes, that's right. And all I can tell you is I didn't sense another's presence. Aha! Then could it be... Does the gunshot actually originate from somewhere outside the room? No, that's out of the question. Oh. Right up. Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. I could smell the gunpowder. This is going from bad to worse. You say that's the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor? Correct. And I foolishly picked it up. That was carelessness on my part. Presumably then, the gunshot you heard came from the firearm that you somewhat hastily took in your hands? In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not. What? The barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold. There was no smell of spent powder. But then, where on earth is the gun that was fired? Yes, I would like to oblige you with an answer. I'm afraid I can't. I too would dearly like to know that. Just as I picked up the firearm to examine it. Hold it! Press everything for now. I don't know what to... Man, you say? One of the witnesses, I presume? That's right. One of the street merchants working on Fresno Street. Who are these merchants? A number of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the boarded window of the crime scene. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They've all given statements saying they heard the gunshot. And without thought of danger, they ran inside to see what had happened. Yes, Jean told us about that yesterday, didn't she? They burst through the door with some force, it would seem. They did. It almost gave me a heart attack in the process. Damn! Scared von Ziegs? Wild. But you're supposed to be the Reaper. The first man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled. The policeman patrolling on Fresno Street heard the commotion and was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident occurred. Anyway, the man screamed drew my attention in that direction. Oh, the body Inspector Gregson appeared before me. Hold it! What do you mean by that? What way did the body appear? I honestly can't explain it, but it's the truth. As far as I was concerned, the body had been there until that point. Then suddenly, there it was. Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground just beforehand? At that moment, what I heard was the sound of the door flying open and the scream of the man who came inside first. Nothing more. Huh. Because if he got shot at that moment... Interesting. Design first, nothing more. I see. After the man fled, I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson. Most curious circumstances indeed. How the inspector was killed, or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere. I have no idea.
Objection!
Oh, objection. Surely the court has heard enough. No, I was right just to press everything. My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Barrick von Zeeks, is lying on multiple fronts. Ooh! They changed his theme! Ooh! They remixed his theme for prosecution! What is that supposed to mean? Oh, gracious counsel! The defendant is lying, The defendant is nothing, you say? What timing? I can't believe it! The defendant is lying, you say? In his testimony just now, he claims he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. That's correct. No, that's impossible. As proven by this candelabrum. How does that prove anything? If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see it has been blown off by a powerful impact. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. Oh my god, Naomi, no! I just like that they remixed his theme. The problem comes when you consider the other two candles, which are clearly of a different length. Yes, I can see that only the candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long. You could reasonably expect someone to have lit all three candles together. It begs the question of why only one has ended up longer than the others. That must be because that particular candle was extinguished when the others were still burning. Ah! That's right. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. But the other two candles would still have been burning. So the fact is, the victim's body would have been illuminated by the light still thrown by the candelabrum. And the accuser claim that he couldn't see the body clearly contradicts those facts. Clean up on aisle 2? What do you mean? And now to the next lie. So here's more? The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime before. That's the truth. In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered from top to bottom with police documents and newspaper cuttings. What? How am I supposed to answer that? What the heck? Yes, that's right. We saw it too. It goes without saying that the contents of these documents cannot be divulged. However, they included a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. 10 years ago? This is starting to sound familiar, and there's a common thread linking all the documents on that board. This is not common thread, Counsel. They all relate to cases prosecuted in court by Barrick von Zeeks. All of them? And furthermore, all those cases are ones in which the defendant was acquitted. Good lord! Interestingly, none of those defendants are alive today, because all of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper. Ah! Oh no! In short, that dinky little room... I know, that's true. There's two that are still alive. But actually, alright, to be fair, Kazuma would not know that. Kazuma actually would not know that there's two still alive in that case. It's Reaper's secret hideout and his base of operations. The Reaper's hideout? Yet the Reaper would claim never to have been to his own secret hideout? No one would believe that. No, the truth is, we've been looking at this backwards. Backwards? Explain carefully. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. I'm sure everyone can imagine by the Reaper's hand. What? Order, order, order! Very well, I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Berg von Zieks is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to his country. However, it is with deep regret that I must concur with Prosecutor Sogi's contention. The defendant's testimony exhibits a number of stark inconsistencies with the known facts. Because it's members of the judiciary, Naomi. It's closed court to the public, but not to the judiciary. They are watching this themselves. All I have done is state the truth as I know it. Cosmo's done a brilliant job as ever. He's drawing on his experience as a defense attorney to build his prosecution case. And it's formidable. Why are you pouncing, Naomi? That's what they already explained that. No, no. What do you mean, Naomi? What? Counsel, I will submit the board that you just showed the court as evidence. I believe it to be fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence. Au revoir. Thank you, my lord. Notice board has been entered into the court record. And now the prosecution will call new witnesses to the stand. Witnesses who saw events unfold on the day in question. They were mentioned in the previous testimony too, if you remember. Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshot went running into the room. Very well, lead the witnesses in. Alright, before that, I want to take a quick look. Oh! There's a handprint on here. Oh, what's this? Sundar, hold on, look! Oh yes, it's a smudge of some kind. In fact, looks just like a handprint. And the color, that's blood, isn't it? Oh dear, how disturbing. Yeah, there's a bloody handprint on the back side. Well, upside down, it could be like he's kind of reaching over with his... But like this, he's reaching over with his right hand. Nothing on the bottom. Yeah, that would be his right hand. There are details of a whole raft of cases dating back years on here, aren't there? This paper from 10 years ago is borrowing with age. Look. Out of interest, the most recent thing appears to be this newspaper cutting here. Oh, it's the same Red-Headed League advertisement that Mr. Sholmes had picked out. Do you remember? There was a red hairpiece at the scene too. Was Inspector Gregson an exponent of the Red-Headed League then? I think the League tried to kill him. Okay, time of death. Oh, there is no time of death. That's a mistake. There's no time of death on here. Cause of death. Victim was shot in the chest at close range from the front, resulting in instant death. Scortrons are point of entry. The bullet exited the body from behind. The caliber of the gun used matches that of standard issue firearms for members of the judiciary. Okay. The defendant may step down for the witness stand. Certainly, my lord. Who we got? Little Red Riding Hood, a homeless dude, and what look like an artist in a sense. Oh god. So, witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. What is his lip? Names? We don't use names. Far too fancy for the likes of us. We're just being easy. Sell what you like, live where we want to live. Like, give them all a vacant stare as they walk down fresh snow and spin a few words into a verse for them. Oh, can I be right to me that all three of you make your living by selling wares on the street? Everyone calls me Gossip. I saw jaunty little tidbits with passerbys, you know. Jaunty little tidbits? An absolute smasher for you, sir. Light of your general it is. 6 pence is the ice, not a penny less. Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me now? Oh, come on, sir. Don't tell me you're not interested. Don't question it. Try them, man. Give them the money and see what it is. Pay them out, counsel. What? What the hell? Why is everyone telling me to spend my hard-earned money on this? Really? Even the judge is like, pay him already. Alright, 6 pence it is. What's with that? No, got your list with yours on. Just between us, a young couple on Slate Street have just had twins. Okay. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? Isn't it? What's a spread, but that spits up to you in your mouth, of course. I've got them all, you know. Want another juicy one? 6 pence a piece it is, if you're curious. I am curious, yes, about what's going on just under that fat bottom lip of yours. Damn, you're even calling out his lip? Maybe that unusual bruise or whatever it is that's poking out from under your collar. Oh yeah, it looks like you got strangled. I didn't even notice that until now. What about the next witness then? What name do you go by and what do you sell? Me, I'm Venus. That's what everyone calls me. Funny, innit? Oh! I sell these lovely little fireworks to all the local school kids. Okay then. Oh my... 6 pence a pop, what did you say? Okay, she got an ass made of steel. She just swiped that right up and just got it to... what? Just swipe an immediate flame. Oh yeah. You weren't exaggerating with little. Do they actually sell? Oh yeah, the second year can't get enough of my Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them that if they get 100, they could blow up the school. Not the most savory ideas, young lady. What do you say then, eh? On a pot with 6 pence for a pop. Wait, what? You want me to buy one? Tell you what, I'll let you in a little secret. If you get 100 of them, you can blow up the whole courtroom. Try the woman. Oh my god, again? Give her the money and see if she's right. Play the woman, counsel. They're doing it again! Why am I using my money? Alright, I'll buy one. Lovely study. Right then, this is something a bit extra just for you. Oh god! The Venus special, only 600 pence. 600? It's 100 times my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there? And there'd be nothing little about the punishment if I blew up the Old Bailey either. Wait. Oh, what's where Bane could it make? Could it make a gunshot? And the last witness, what name do you go by and what do you sell? I'm a thing of me. Think all sorts of thoughts. Therefore I am, therefore I think. Oh, you're right, Naomi, I remember him. He used to be the driver, now he's homeless. Because I stand there on the street, watching the world go on without me, they call me the observer. Get out of it, old man. Everyone calls you sandwich and you know it. So, you don't actually sell anything? Problem shared is a problem. I have to say sorry. I give advice, I do, and think what it means. Hot actual hero? What? Are you trying to sell porn? What is this group? I don't actually sell anything though, come to think of it. Pity. No more purchase today, please. I agree. Well, you have quite a cost here, it seems. They conduct their business on Fresno Street from morning until night, my lord. And always in the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene. I see. And thus they heard the gunshot, I suppose. Not only that, but they very bravely ran inside to see what was going on and witness the crime. I'd be back and I thought, she's between us. Mr. Milo, what am I to do? What a terrible thing I saw. What I think is, if all light we see is light and shadow playing with our eyes, is any of it real? My throat's gonna hate me in the morning, but I'm having fun. Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now. You will describe in detail what you witnessed and heard at the time of the incident. My throat! The witness's account. We saw the whole thing, but not to finish we did. Everything from the moment we went to the building. It was less than a minute after the people had gone inside that we heard a big bang. It seems to me that clicked talk is clicked walk. Cause we couldn't wait to go and see what had happened. I ran into the room and there was the people gun in hand standing over the dead body. I was killed after death, so I ran off to find a copper. If these witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything, who did they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused, Barrick von Zeeks. It's pictures that look deeper than the paper. I know what he looks like. It's just between us, fuck love stories like this. You suffered to this slum already? But wait, the room was just one of several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it. Old man have motive, lost his found due to failures. Maybe? I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't know. All those flats on Fresno Street are unoccupied. Of course they are. They're small, damp, dirty, and expensive to boot. The room in which the inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased. We know the leaseholder's name, don't we? It's Hugh Boone. The testimony the court has just heard would appear to leave little room for doubt. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than the defendant could have committed the crime. They all seem to have some kind of thing going on with this. No! Thank you for your candor, my lord. Consult the defense. We proceed to cross-examine the witnesses. Yes, my lord. In a closed court like this without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. I have to break down this testimony. Somehow. Alright. Saw the whole thing from start to finish. We did everything from the moment they went in the building.
Hold it!
Start pressing. When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Inspector Gregson, defendant, Lord Von Zieks? I suppose so. The likes of us don't know the names of the high and mighty. But I'll tell you one thing, it was the old people that went in last, that's for sure, son. Just behind Inspector Gregson, did they arrive at the same time as each other? No, not at all. The first one must have gone inside the guard 15 minutes before we had the gunshot. The victim arrived 15 minutes before? Are you sure about that? Yeah. Am I sure? Does it seem likely that I've got a fella with bright red hair like that, does it? Yeah, is it really one of red, wasn't it? Redder than my flame of fireworks even. Wait. Red hair? The fire in my mouth still. On the inside of my eyelids, it is. Wait a minute. You're saying the man was a redhead? You listening, chum? He was a redhead. He had a big trunk with him as well. Inspector Gregson's hair isn't red. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Seems likely the person you saw wasn't in fact Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party. No, I hate to break it to you, but the witnesses are correct. What? Just have a look at this photograph of the victim taken at the scene. Oh! He was wearing the wig the whole time. Yeah, that looks dead to me, Naomi. Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, alright. And a red hairpiece. Of course, we saw one on the floor when we investigated the scene, didn't we? I still refuse to believe Inspector Gregson wore a hairpiece, though. Then why on earth would he have been wearing something like that? The color does seem to suit the man, one might say. Photograph will be submitted as evidence, please, counsel. He tightly curled up and there's a red hairpiece on his head. What became of the trunk that the red-headed victim was supposedly carrying? I was informed. No trunk was found at the scene. So it just disappeared? Missing evidence. Look, you to watch at the building every second, do you? We definitely saw him on the dock going on, no question about that. Hold on. Color Big Bang. Let me see. Have you any idea, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm staring at the end of the strings of fireworks. Sorry, it's just that it's the Venus special. I was wondering what 600 pets worth of fireworks would sound like. Shall we find out? What? But she said it could blow up the courtroom. Alright. That was a fairly sizable bang. Yours was still ringing, Mr. Naruhodo. It sounded almost exactly like... Yeah, it goes off like a gunshot. What? Guyan? Goldie Owl and the 3 Blueys? What the fuck? Yeah, being a firecracker goes off like a gunshot. That's what I figured. Oh! Oh! That's a lot of blood. Ugh. I don't like that picture. I'm not gonna look at that anymore. As long as I can. Oh, we'll look again. Well, the way he's laying down, it's kind of hard to tell. Can't see anything on here, though. Naomi, they did say there was scorch marks on the gunshot wound. Like, that's already been confirmed. That's in the autopsy report. Chest at close range from the front, resulting in its death. Scorch marks at point of entry. The bullet exited the body from behind. Wow. So yeah, the picture might not be completely accurate, but no, autopsy report already confirms it. It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside and we all heard a big bang. Hold it! Which presumably you mean the gunshot? I said these little things, don't I? I know what the gunshot sounds like. When I first started, probably sounds a bit like this, doesn't it? And you say that you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw the defendant here into the building? That's right, it was almost straight away. Bang! It went just like that. These are really it's what the French could fight the company. With the people around, people are going in the ground. I mean, that's what he did, isn't it? He did it? I think we get the message. The Reaper couldn't allow the inspector to live after he discovered his secret hideout. There can be no clear motive for the crime. Yes, certainly eminently credible motive. Great. At that point, I know that looks so painful. At this point, you ran inside, is that correct? Seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Gossip couldn't wait to go and see what had happened. Hold it! So when Gossip ran to see what had happened, did you go too? Well, me, I'm a it happened, see? All the signs of that I can't move very well. You were way behind, presumably, with that sandwich board around your neck and that bit sign in your hand. What a great bird you bear. Pardon me for asking, Mr. Sandwich, but is it possible you and I have met before? I'm not any... Why is he turning his sign around like that? Oh. There we go, got rid of that. Not anybody, me. The sign's what makes me who I am now. I signed, therefore I am. So, you weren't employed as an omnibus driver just under a year ago then? Oh god, he's vibrating even harder. Yeah, it's intensified. I might be mistaken, but I believe his trembling is intensified, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I agree. He's clearly been through a lot. Turn down King Kerry Street to the Black Widower's arms, it's just there. Oh dear, you made him hide behind his sign. Life is full of surprises. I ran into the room and there he was, the Reaper gun in hand standing over the dead body. Hold it! So then, you were the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right? It was do it open like the professional I did. You know, what's going on here? One of Zeke's claims all he heard was a man scream, though. Was it dark inside the room? Really? It was a feeling collapse on the floor. It's the first thing I noticed when they got inside. Ah, I see. Even though Lord Van Zeeks claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall. I think it was someone standing right beside the body. He accused Barak Von Zeeks. It's right, the pale-faced leaf still. I was neither shocked, so I won't deny it. There no lily liver's coward. I'm still not gonna get a real coat hot still myself. Oh? God, look at his portrait on the bottom left. Oh, look at his portrait. That lip sticks out so much. A lot. Hate it.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Do you have something to add, Mr. Sandwich? This really is nothing to me. Empty in the head I am. Just two slices with no middle. So I don't know what you could want with me. I think that maybe you just remembered something. Having heard Mr. Gossip's last statement, I mean. What I think is, well, nothing, so really. We try to dress ourselves up as something else, but at the end of the day, we're all just complete sellers. It's not bad use, Sandwich. Keep it flap shut now. Let's see what this is to make you into a real sandwich. When he saw the Reaper, he fell clean over to his backside. That's it. Oh, you lot of bugger! I told you to keep it a secret. He screamed, he did. Screamed and scrambled off on all fours. It's all I wanted to say. Mr. Gopsis, if this is true, it's simply that's why. My shit at a beauty pool of blood today. Yuck! What? A pool of blood? This is the evil when it was thrown over the floor. I still get good at leaping the good hard stare, and don't you forget it. Let's go back a little. Did you say you got blood on your hand? Yeah, you did. I happens to be the times, doesn't it? So I'm scared, so I slipped over. Keep it just between us, can't we? No, Mr. Gossip. I'm going to have to ask you to add that information in formal testimony. Huh. See, he must have touched the board in the back. How would that happen? What? The blood was nowhere near the board. That makes no sense. Oh, if I must. The witness will amend his testimony to include the aforementioned details at once. Thank you, Yoda! Mr. Look at me once, so he wiped it up on the floor. That's not true.
Objection!
Aha! So you wiped off the blood from your hand on the floor of the room. Are you quite sure about that? What else do you expect me to have done, eh? To lead him out there?
Objection!
The police found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations. What exactly is defense asserting?
Objection!
If you listen, you'll find out. Prosecutor Sogi. Ah! Why are you pushing so hard into my lap? See, it's like the door. Certainly, there was no bloody handprint found on the floor. What are you trying to say? There was a handprint in blood left very clearly at scene. On the back of this notice board. Oh! Oh, wow, Naomi, bad. Yes, indeed. Indisputably a handprint in the sacred color of blood. I that's my late aunt. I don't know what did he wanna. Oh, he admits it. How did he touch the board? Oh my goodness. The witness very definitely testified that he wiped his hand on the floor. Handprints on the back of the board are irrelevant.
Objection!
Not if the board itself had fallen over onto the floor. In that case, it's quite possible for witness handprint to have ended up there. Just look at the floor plan of the room. Yeah, this is what makes no sense. The notice board was in the opposite corner of the room to the victim and in an upright position. And if it had somehow been toppled and was lying on the floor at the time, it would have been a considerable distance from the body. Even over when I came across the body, so it was basically right next to the corpse. On the other side of the room. In other words, the defense's assertion is contradictory. Yes, it is. There's a very definite contradiction here, for which there must be a reason. Take it that you formulate the proper hypothesis, counsel. Regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witness's account and the handprint found at the scene. I have, my lord. This discrepancy between the witness's account and the location of the handprint is explained by... Yeah, I'm thinking board moving. That's like the only way it would work. Because false test, obviously not another handprint. False testimony would make it seem like would go against us. Yeah, board moving. The real contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. Good gracious, so it is. If the wizard put his hand against the board, the fingers should be pointing upwards. What does that tell us? It tells one simple fact. When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor as I previously suggested. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved. What?
Objection!
You're claiming that somebody moved the nose board after the shooting? Tell the court who. I don't know that yet, but the point is, thanks to all the testimony you've heard so far, it can now be very clear on one point. That would be the position of the nose board at the time of the incident, my lord. So, counsel, I must ask you to clarify your assertion to the court. At the time of the incident, where do you maintain the nose board was situated? Oh, it must have been like literally right behind the door. The door opens this way. And then the board would have been knocked over as soon as the door opened. It's like right here. That's also why he wanted to see the body.
Take that!
This is the only possible location. Yeah! Immediately adjacent to the doorway? If the court would think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier, he said that when he entered the room, it was dark, and he couldn't see the body. Blick? If the nose board had been here, the body would have been completely hidden from view. The light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection!
The accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him. That's true. Or, in his precise words... Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. I don't know if it's gonna just scream, but he was talking about me and no mistake. He didn't use me to kick the door open. Wait. Was the body, like, pinned up against the board? And then the body kind of, like, flew into that position? If you look again at the floor plan, consider what would happen if the door to the room was thrown open with force. That can't. The door struck the notice board, knocking it over, and making the victim's body visible. Good gracious. My client has told nothing but the truth. He has simply described what he saw. Ah! Ooh, he got thrown back. Order, order! Counsel, how has this not come to light before now? After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it into the position where the police, myself, and my colleagues saw it when investigating the room. Witness, what have you to say for yourself? What? Me, my lord? You and your fellows were there at the scene before anybody else. It goes without saying that you must know something about the position of the notice board. The witnesses in the stand will testify again. Will each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime. Yes, the flicker of your glass at me, I get the message. Okay. The mystery of the moving board. It's the way they put the notice board. I just went to the end on it and it's all. Stop lighting matches with your ass. It's impressive, but that's dangerous. Girl, that's a fire hazard waiting to happen. What did they get me? I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me. Just a sign of at the crossroads of life. It was it, blood bit. He's got the face that screams bored. I can't see other strangers to anything anyway. I still died when we heard the gunshot. Let her burn herself? Oh my god, Naomi, you're evil! So none of you can elaborate further. Shaken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see. We can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened. Hold on, water! Oh no! Rip Yuna, what have you done? Too much of me to handle. Clearly. What do you expect? Oh no, poor Yuna! That's right, yeah. Don't pay to expect too much. It's man, since this quest for knowledge that's just destroying the world. That's what I think. Do you? Really? In any case, as this testimony shows, If the nose board was moved by somebody falling into it, it makes no difference. I'm not that much to handle. What? I don't think I'm too much to handle. I promise. Okay? When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could possibly have committed this crime is Barrick von Zieks. None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so, quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances? Most certainly, my lord. Very well, then you may proceed, counsel. Mystery of the moving board. I don't know anything about that nose board, just wet my hand on it, that's all.
Hold it!
So you admit that it was the board you wiped your bloody hand on? Admit it. So admit it's their plain as deep below the sea, especially put to my right hand. Perhaps you wanted to hide that handprint. So you righted the nose board and pushed it into the corner, did you? No, revenge defeats the dictates lump. I look like a powerful well-understood man. Well, did you see anybody else moving the board? I couldn't do this still, I can tell you. I have my limits. There was a body on the floor in front of me and the grim leap on him started standing over it. And it was purchased into the night inside either, but there was a quiver. In other words, I know what happened to his neck. In other words, this witness is unable to give definite testimony on that point. Not at all, Naomi, I agree. Yes, I can see. Don't look at me, I don't got a clue. I was doing business with some second years at the time.
Hold it!
Would you say you were doing business with them? You mean you were selling them fireworks? Yeah, what else? There's the priory school just around the corner, see? Those cheeky little so-and-sos who got the plan to blow the school to Kingdom Come. I've been telling on them. All the teachers know what they're up to. Oh, you have? I wouldn't want anyone to be done, so I let the school know the kids are playing with dodgy toys. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks off them. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids all come back to me to buy more. Everyone's happy, see? Wow, what a business. What a racket. Well, sometimes a teacher can be a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's busy with life on explosives. Venus is a powerful goddess indeed. Well, tell him Biffy's nice and pretty. It's kind of a thing really. I'm ever so good at it. Oh? Oh? Again?
Excuse me!
Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich? If all I said could we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it? No. Did Miss Mia's statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Philosophical thoughts. Deep philosophical thoughts. Hmm? Let's say there was a great liar. And that the great liar said, without betting an eye, telling perfect size is kind of my thing. I'm ever so good at it. Will those words be hers, of hers be a lie too? Or the truth? In which case, she's a little liar. Ooh, it's a hellish paradox, that one, don't you think? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, but it seems to me you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you? Oh, he's given her the cold eye. What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that. And I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set them off. I'll give you something to tremble about. You have a story disturbing minds behind that sweet innocent face, young lady. So, Miss Venus has lied in testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich? Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Can you elaborate, please, sir? Old Mafia had a room where the gunshots seemed to come from, but someone else had crept upstairs behind him too. It's light, that rotten liar over there. Oh. You're gonna toss the things in the toaster oven. Okay, sounds like good at foods. I got a toaster oven myself. Originally, my mom and sister kind of burnt food because they didn't understand how it worked. You mean to say, in fact, you take yourself to the scene of the crime after all? What did they tell you, eh? I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I? Yes, you mentioned it. Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it? Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? You didn't indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief! Well, now you come to mention it, I suppose perhaps I do remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah? Either you clearly remember it, or you don't. Well, I shall consider a fitting punishment for this perjurious act later. A joyous act later. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth. Oh yes, my lord, of course! Man, someone's actually gonna get punished for lying? Oh my goodness. I did sneak along behind gossip and never did the peek in the room where it all happened.
Hold it!
Alright. You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus? Well, I suppose so. I don't really know it, to be fair. What's my advice, though? I take everything I say with a big pinch of salt. Alright, but you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you? Oh please, as if I would! I can't think of anything more terrifying! The truth, please. Oh, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age is curious about stuff, you know? Did you touch anything at the scene? Oh please, as if I would! I mean, there's a dead body on the floor! The truth, please. Well, alright, just a bit then. But I'd like to see if there's anything I could sell. So take it, please, whatsoever. I'll still have to fight the one about. Jeez, right. Now, I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you? Oh, please, after if I would touch anything like that, just a few bits of those changes that I had. The truth, please. Well, right then, I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flippin' thing. Sorry, flip the plastic thing. You're telling us that you did move the board? Oh my god, this girl. I think that it's about it. What? Bumpot? I don't believe it, the girl doesn't think. So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken perhaps to sell? Oh please, I should be so lucky. I imagine you. The truth now. I might have found this old pocket watch under the notice board, I suppose. But a joke like this can't be worth much if you ask. Ah! Gina! So here's you, what is you're the one what took it. Gina? Young lady, may I remind you where you are? That watch there? It was to instruct the aggressive for the yard. That big kissy self 10 years ago. professor case, no doubt. He used to wind it up and he hit it without fail when he was waiting for his skirt to come at the pub. I see. It's like it up and once, and blimey was he upset to give me a right earful. He and Mr. Day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did. Possibly not the best thing to go diving for then. So all that though, I took a gems that they asked you out just what the Aurora would touch it. Wouldn't give me a penny for it, said it wasn't working. Knocked about and worthless he called it. I knew I should have lifted it. Well, this guy, that watch must be submitted as evidence at once. Oh please, just so long as you promise to give it back when you were done. Not a chance. I'll swipe it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again.
That's enough. Hand the watch to the bailiff forthwith.
Now, children, watch your manners. Oh, what a series of events. And Naomi missed it all.
Good lord! The glass appears to be broken.
More than likely, it shattered when the inspector was shot. It doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jeppes didn't want it. What a waste, eh?
Yes, indeed.
I'm sorry, Naomi. I'm not trying to mumble. I seriously cannot do anything with this mic. It's not my fault. It's like so high up. I can't yell either. Like, what am I supposed to do? Basically, she kept lying that, one, she moved the board. No, she moved the board, found the watch. Gina came in, said that the pocket watch was Gregson's. So she's lying like crazy.
Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5.
Exactly when the gunshot was heard then. Which supports the prosecution's claim, of course. Gregson's pocket watch that he wound without fail every single day. He's no longer taking a glass over the face as craft.
Well, it would appear that the mystery of the moving notice board has been solved at least.
And as predicted, at a very low bearing on the case.
Well then, continue with your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Well, now I gotta look. Oh! There's a tiny little keyhole here. Can you see? Oh yes, it's probably for the winder used to wind up the mechanism. It looks a little unusual, don't you think? Yes, you need just the right key to wind it, I imagine. Why do I feel as though I've seen something? Something a bit like a key that's about the right size to fit in this hole. If you wonder if we have the key, let's check carefully what we already found. Ooh. Her glass over the face really is badly cracked. Look. What a shame the inspector clearly looked after it so carefully. Master and Mr. Sholmes could repair it, don't you? Yes, I should think so. He's very adept at things like this. Useful man to have around. In fact, I remember these great detective Mr. Naruto. Not an odd job, man. Yeah. Come on, this. Yep. Mr. Sato, I think perhaps this key could be the key for Inspector Gregson's watch? Oh, yes, it could be. Let's try it once. There's not a moment to lose. Yup. I knew it. A perfect fit. And look, the inspector's watch is started going again. Ah, so it's obviously just not been wound up, that's all. This is Mrs. Sato. Yeah. But the fact the watch is moving again, it's not actually broken. What is it, Mrs. Sato? Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all, that feeling could have profound implications. She's deep in thought now. Perhaps I better start thinking deeply too. Having wound it up, it started ticking again. So now what? Can I present it here?
Objection!
Yup, I was right. I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case. Oh. At the scene, we found this key to the winder in the inspector's pocket watch. A key? And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it in fact still works. You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And that fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises on which this entire case has been built. What? Yeah, there we go. I'm glad I investigated. That went great.
Order, order, order! But Council, the watch stopped at almost exactly 5 o'clock.
Yeah, which is just when you heard the gunshot. It is exactly the hour. The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It's merely coincidence that it happened to be at 5 o'clock.
Objection!
Even if that's true, we witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. That's obviously when this crime was committed.
Objection!
No, that doesn't hold. Why not? Recall what Inspector Lestrade said only moments ago. The boss used to wind it up every evening without fail when he was waiting for the club to come to the pub. I believe it was the day in the last 10 years Polish didn't wind it down. It meant the world to him, that watch did. The victim was in the habit of winding his watch once a day, in the evening. We can't reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well.
Yes, that wouldn't be entirely reasonable.
But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day.
Oh,
In summary, the evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch. You can't, I mean, he was dead for like a day. I knew them not having the time of death on the autopsy report was going to matter. He was dead a day ago. What would stop a man winding his watch? He's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years. The obvious answer said he was already dead. That's huge.
order, order! Council, this was extraordinary claim.
Objection!
Extraordinary isn't the word. It's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before? You really think the Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that? Well, on that subject, there is something rather surprising. There's actually an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted. That's right. Wait a minute. Can you get the Switzerland under me when I kick the door in? What do you mean?
I can see it, placing my hand in the dirty green puddle of blood.
Yes. So the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh.
Get you something fast, dude.
Objection!
But that blood can be explained in any number of ways. It could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's
Objection!
body after eating. Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available on every street corner? Ah!
Well, it ain't necessarily been human blood, of course.
True.
We've been told previously a Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human.
Blood is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities. Ah! So just fake animal blood. Or not fake blood, but like animal blood.
Oh, you think that was an assassination list?
I don't remember it being an assassination list specifically. But yeah, maybe he was the target. We know Kazuma was the target. But night, you and But now we know not everybody was. Because Kazuma's now here.
How else could it be?
Yeah, right that. So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example.
Is there any possibility that it wasn't the instructor's blood at all?
Objection!
But the gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. That's beyond question. Is it though? What? Given that the time of death of the victim has already been called into question, is it beyond the realms of possibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all?
Oh please, what are you trying to say?
You see, this legend of what they heard and it was without being the king from their room.
You listen to me, street sellers here are their livelihood.
Brought the whip. Oh no. I don't doubt your ears, sir. All you can state with concern is that you heard a noise. Eh?
Clean yourself down, counsel.
Noise that sounds like a gunshot could have been made with...
Take that!
something like this. The culprit could have set off one of these to fake a gunshot.
Good gracious, the very fireworks are sold by the witness. Hold on a minute. Are you saying I did it? Pretty little firecrackers only make a little pop anyway. See?
Not 100 of them together. The Venus special that you sell for 600 pennies. Sounds like this. As the court can now attest, it sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact. What was that noise she made? I'm trying to suggest that somebody set one of those fireworks off at the scene. I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day, and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
Objection!
But even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gun or a firecracker, the only person present to cause that bang was Barrick Von Zeeks.
The match of the firecrackers go pop. See? That's why people like them.
I feel for your fingers, young lady.
Objection!
Yeah, I know, she won't stop setting it off. Recently, during my time here in Brant, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb.
Good heavens, a bomb?
Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like.
Sister Hodo, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident.
Ah, no, wait. It's the whenever you like part that's important. A time device?
Yes, exactly. A time device. Something that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sound of a gunshot long after the culprit had left. extravagant claim was let me substantiate with evidence, counsel. What proof do you have to suggest in any way the time device was employed to create the gunshot sound? It did stop at 5. It did stop at 5, yeah.
Take that!
You suggested this could have been used as some time delay device? I did think so, my lord. But it's becoming increasingly clear that we've all been very misguided here.
Objection!
Yes, by you. What? No. Without delay. Oh. It's not the watch. Okay then. Uh... I'm thinking the candles. Yeah. Yeah, true.
Take that!
As the court has already discussed, the tip of one of the candles in his candelabrum has been blown off. Oh! It blew off because of the fireworks, the firecrackers, not the gun. Indeed, because it was struck by the bullet which presumably passed the victim. I don't think that's possible, my lord. Not possible. Why? Because of the scorching. There are gunpowder scorch marks clearly visible on the broken candle. What? Goodness, yes! But is it not the case that there was also scorching on the victim around the bullet entry wound? That's right, there was. But as we heard earlier, scorching like that only occurs when the target's at very close range, a matter of centimeters from the gun. Yeah, the bullet couldn't have done that. Can't make scorch marks like that. Oh! Which means that the scorching on the candle can't possibly be the result of a gunshot. You're suggesting it came from the fireworks? Yeah. The fact that there's such visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. Or to put it another way, the candle and firecrackers were joined together. Ah! The culprit somehow attached the fireworks at a point partway down the candle. After the killer left the scene, the candle slowly burned down along with the other two, until eventually ignited the fuse of the firecrackers, generating a loud bang. And that's how these 3 witnesses came to believe they'd heard a gunshot at 5 o'clock. Well, what a plot! This implies that the victim could have died earlier than we'd been led to believe. The previous day, even. No, now just hold your horses. Almost let you saw the victim going into the building, remember? I couldn't forget that flame-covered hair even if I wanted to. The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this. Oh! Obviously, anybody can wear a wig, so the person that these witnesses saw entering the building 15 minutes before the incident occurred could easily have been someone else entirely, wearing the red hairpiece. Someone else, do you mean to say? It was the same person who contrived the firecracker trick. In other words, Inspector Gregson's killer.
Oh, very impressive, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Kazuma? I'm really quite amazed you've come this far. But after all, wasn't I the one who told you that you had all the makings of a great defense lawyer? No, I don't think Von Zieks knows it all. Nah. He wouldn't know any of that happening. He said, I'm pretty sure he was telling the truth. I also know the lack of time of death in this report. Stark omission. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole country's justice system leaves a lot to be desired. Ooh! What a call out! Order! Prosecutor Asogi! What do you mean by that statement? No! He went in alone to investigate and had no idea any of that was there. He went alone. What do you mean by that statement? Yeah, it was, the guy with the wig went in 15 minutes beforehand with a briefcase. Briefcase was there. And then it was Von Zieks that came in a minute before at a trunk. Right, trunk. Yeah, and then it was Von Zieks that came in a minute before the explosion. That sounded like a gunshot. I hear that many of the leading members of Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today. So we cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked. The defense's assertion about the time of death based on the victim's stopwatch is just conjecture. But, while the possibility exists that my learned friend may be correct, we have a duty to explore it. Well, certainly, I would agree with you. What immediately comes to mind is, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing and where did he go on the day before the incident? Do you know? Inspector always carried out his investigation work alone. His movements were treated as confidential within Scotland Yard. Ooh, did the yard? However, considering the evidence we've been presented with so far, I'd say it's fairly apparent what case the man was pursuing. Wouldn't you, my learned friend? I do have a feeling about what case he might have been investigating. Yes, I agree. Surely. My lord, the defense believes it can explain to the court the case that was being investigated by Inspector Gregson at the time of his death. Very well, counsel. Present your argument to the court. What evidence suggestive of the case being investigated by the inspector on the day prior to the incident? Or when it... Wouldn't it be... No. Oh, yeah. Red-Headed League article. I was thinking of this or the fact that Mrs. Vigil was there.
Take that!
I believe this red hairpiece points to the answer. Oh, so there were two. I could have done the wig or the article. Yeah, the missing man. But the article worked. This red hairpiece points to the answer. You might assume it was part of a disguise used to carry out an undercover investigation. Surely not. Such a brightly colored hairpiece would only serve to make the inspector more noticeable. Yes, that's quite true. It would definitely have made him stand out in a crowd. Except, that is, in a crowd of gentlemen from the Red-Headed League. The Red-Headed League? So, you'd already worked it out. What on earth is this all about? Such an extraordinary league of gentlemen? The Red-Headed League is currently under investigation for a grand deception. Deception of what nature, counsel? They've been targeting red-headed men across all of London and tricking them out of small sums of money. 2 men were arrested for the misdemeanor only yesterday, in fact. My lord, the defense calls for those 2 men to be summoned at once. The 2 redheads? Oh no. Oh No! Inspector Gregson clearly infiltrated the Red-Headed League using his hairpiece. Very likely he had direct contact with these criminals. It's quite possible such contact led to more serious events. I concur. Cannot you conscience leave this new avenue unexplored? Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, it's another possible line of inquiry for us at least. Prosecution will make new arrangements for the charge meant to appear. Bring these two red-headed league conspirators before me, Prosecutor Soki. At once, my lord. Good. We have a 30-minute recess. Court is adjourned. Ah, my goodness, water. Proper break. All right. Good, good, good. Gonna start toasting the blade for my burger. Alright, sounds good. Okay, 12:33 p.m. Only defendant's antechamber. Oh, there you are, Eldo. What kept you, my dear fellow? Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Gina. Sure, but what you said in there? That the boss, you know, actually died the day before? Pretty hard to swallow. Yes, I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina. As was I, possibly more shocked than both of you. It's not a competition, Mr. Sholmes. But I was more shocked than all of you put together. This is the autopsy report question, is it? Yes, it's strange that there's no time of death noted. This was a simpler explanation, and perhaps it was a deliberate omission. Dear, if it was deliberate, it puts me in mind of the last case we worked on, and Dr. Scythe. I know. Anyway, it seems that on the day before Lord Von Zieks discovered his body, Dr. Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. Perhaps something happened with them. Come to think of it, you had trouble with those league men too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You were taken in by their trick. No, no, no. Naturally, I wasn't taken in, as you put it. My sleuth-sound interest was merely piqued slightly by the rare scent of a weekly 4-pound income. And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose. The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? Mr. Sholmes' suite, I mean. The sightseers? It was me who took him in. Thanks to a tip-off by a good law-abiding citizen. Indeed, yours truly. So it's going to be that pair in the witness stand next, is it? Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the Inspector have been investigating them? Well, the likely explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuth-hound interest was piqued by the rare scent of a weekly 4-pound income. Don't tell him with the same dish as yours as you, Sholmes. Right? Sholmes. Different league. Uh-huh. I gotta read that later. Yes, well, then there's the whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Von Zieks for some reason. The Reaper, the Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Von Zieks, and Kazuma. I feel as though he knew we had arrived at this point somehow. Gosh, I think you're right. What's he really trying to achieve here today? He's on his own agenda, obviously. All the answers soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly. Yes, you're right. Cosmo was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial. And he was determined that I should take the defense. Just what is it that he's hoping to make me see, I wonder? I have the feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. Are you ready then, Mrs. Sato? Yes! Oh, I don't know how this is gonna go. "1 p.m. It's in 4 hours already. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. I resume the closed court hearing of Varric von Zieks. Here present, who stands accused of murder. Now then, Prosecutor Asogi. My lord, have you summoned the witnesses as requested? Yes, the 2 members of the Red-Headed League who planned and carried out the deception. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police carriage. Very good. Bailiff, usher the 2 men into the courtroom. Oh boy, oh! That's a lot of spaghetti! These 2 men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. You may omit your occupations, but state your names now for the court. I am Fabien de Rousseau, a descendant of the great de Rousseau family from Nice and France. And my name is Peppino de Rossi. I am the 3rd son of the great family de Rossi, the landowners from Napoli. The 2 men first became acquainted at a boarding school for European nobility. They so gradually Francesco as the future leaders of Europe. But the very idea of bullying is born with noble blood. Alas, I make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little clay cells in my brain. That is all I'm trying to do, huh? So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you've been carrying out? Oui, you could say that. Not bad, eh? He has the grand ideas, but the petty plans. A strange combination is a charm of the hilarious brothers. See, couple? Listen to me, Peppino. I have 2 things to say to you. Eh, Che? Are you about to tell me one of your grand anecdotes? Evviva! Firstly, I want you to stop calling me this couple. And secondly, we are not the elderliest brothers. It's a serious business. Geppetto, there it is, the couple's trump card, the furrowed brow. It is it, the couple? The furrow and the meaning of your words. De Rossi's mouth is so weirdly animated. I don't like it. The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have conspired to scoot money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true? Oui, c'est ça. What exactly was the nature of the deception by which you planned to defraud? Alors, I will explain it. No, couple! Leave it to me! As you see, we both have the vivid red hair, no? Let's go, we will tease for this without pity. The couple here, you will be time behind the schoolhouse crying like the Charlie Fountain. Well, says dogs! One day the world will strike us red heads! Every lady with belly is head and ease a pillow and zip bien Peppino. Enough. I'll explain the rest. The first step was the newspaper advertisement. About 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London. Yes, we saw that notice. It was this one, I believe, entitled To the Red-Headed League.
Oui, c'est ça. I am honored that you have seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair. And if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted into the league, you could receive a weekly income of £4. On a date specified, redhead hopeful gathered in droves at the park specified in the advertisement. For each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. And received money to France! This plan was elegant, non? No, it was most dishonorable. But to be frank, I'm stunned anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick. It was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk like a coaster's orange barrel. The day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these two men spoke face to face with every single person present that day. Oui, I've seen more red-headed people on one day than I will see in the rest of my life. See! And now, every time I see the couple's hair, I feel sick to my stomach. Anyways, why have we been summoned here today? Sorry? The date for our time was not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial. They've only been shown this photograph. Very good. Okay. So they don't really know anything else. Good to know. So, Mr. Devasso and Mr. Delossi, you will now give your formal testimony to the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph. Of course, we are always ready to help with the law. No, you're not. You tried to break the law. The man in the photograph. We had more than 1,000 red-headed people assembled at the park on Lime Street that day. But I don't recall the man in this photograph. A couple? None, I don't remember them. Obviously he's dead now, but I assure you he was not in the park. Aloha! This victim is nothing to do with us. You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. Is it your fault that we got caught in the first place? Interesting. You've given sworn testimony that this man in the photograph was not present. Can you be certain? Oui, I'm quite certain. We did not interview this man. Nobody looking like this came to the park. Miss I can promise. You must be guilty of the rest of your grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances. Rip. Oofa! This attitude? Get to nowhere, huh? He's really assaulting now. His confidential document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. Of course, it entered from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League, undercover. Ah! I have the answer! Maybe there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, That is ridiculous. There's no question Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, which means it's quite possible that's when he was killed. Very well, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination now. Yes, my lord. Let's see how long this takes. Let's see. We have more than 1,000 red-headed people assembled in the park. Alright. 1,000 people. That's a very big crowd. It was quite a spectacle. Red-heads had come from all over the capital. See! The capo here, he has the, magnetismo animale, no? Aye? Nobody else could attract so many people. If I could be born again, I would be the capo. All those people wanted was the money, it's £4 per week. Are you suggesting that you spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants? Oui, that we did, because everyone is paid 5 shillings. We take the names and we take the money. And we take their addresses as well. And tell them we take some days to let them know via post. If finito. Maybe 2 minutes a person? A person? We start early in the morning and we stop late in the night. So you earned 5,000 shillings in one day? That's a small fortune. Who'd have thought there were 1,000 such gullible redheads in London to start with? One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered hair. Oh boy. Can't believe you get fooled like that. I don't recall the man in this photograph.
Hold it!
Doesn't look at all familiar. No, I don't think so. This is a weird guy who's trying to trick us. It's not like the people who trying to trick the other people. Says the con artist. If between them they interview 1,000 people with red hair, it would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face. No, signor, I may be small. My memory is very large and I forget a thing. In my opinion, I do not think this man was in the park. He's not going to give the court a definite, it seems. A couple? You seem like this, huh? No, and I don't remember him. And obviously, he is dead now, but I assure you, he was not in the park.
Hold it!
Hi. According to what you said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes were burning by the end of the day. Surely then you can't actually remember every single face. How are you so certain this particular man wasn't present? Normally, the red hair is very distinctive, eh? Not when you have 1,000 redheads clotting around. That is just an eyesore. What if there was some other information you could give us? Maybe then we would recall. That is not the line, Peppino. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure of that fact, though. Yes, there was a man with a red hairpiece, but his mustache did not match the color, and I do not think I could have forgotten him. Kaza said these two had only been shown a photograph and they'd been told nothing else at all. What if I fed them just one other detail about the victim? For example... Oh, the name, maybe? I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair won't help you remember this situation. What if I told you that the man's name was Gregson? The fantasy photograph is a Mosho Gregson? Yes. Names, they are boring. I did not understand any of them. Oh. I was not to be an interviewer. It was just for the show. Yeah, probably the fish and chips. I don't remember the names. That's right. This changes nothing. The fantasy photograph is not there, as we have already said. I see. Seems there's little to be gained from pursuing this point further. Just get what you said before, Pokino. See, couple, see. I say it again and again. Yeah, it's probably the fish and chips.
Hold it!
Just gotta skip through this. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. What if I told you that the man was always munching on a packet of fish and chips? Remember a man who's eating incessantly? Not really. I was looking only at the applicants. I wanted to notice the fish and chips any more than the caviar and smoked salmon. Oh, spaghetti! Me, I love the spaghetti! Really? I had no idea. Doesn't make it what you said before, Pepino. No?
Alright, let's try the third one. It's profession. Certainly, okay. The only man who had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. What if I told you the man in the red hairpiece was actually a detective? You managed to see photograph? A detective? Yes. It would appear he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Sally, but this changes nothing. Oh?
Excuse me.
Something to add, Mr. De Rossi? Che? See, I am always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper. What I mean is, do you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance? Eh? What the deity just saw? Detective? Yes, that. Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You have said enough already. But why, Capo? What is the problem? There was a man who said, I am an inspector from Scotland Yard. What? Good lord. Why would he just say that out loud? Order, order, order! There's volte-face in your testimony, witness. It's simple. A man who was at Park said to us that he was an inspector. There was no such man. Madai, what are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten I have forgotten nothing. Nobody like this came to the park. Basta, Capo, basta! You beat me at many things, but that too. The memory and the meals. Like I said, when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a pasta. But you are inferior to me every other way, so shut up.
Objection.
Ooh. Bad. Ooh, they both did it. Ugh. Ta-ta, the damage is done. Indeed it is, sir. Please, there was a man who came to see Park and said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. He was someone else. How can you be so sure? Because to start with, she's completely different. See, it's true. The man who came was younger. His face was clean shaven, his eyes were sadder, his chin was thinner. No semblance whatsoever then. Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, if you are the lead detective, show us the proof. See, the couple here, he doesn't take no nonsense, eh? But he was well prepared. He said he had identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification? This is most unconvincing. Sorry, my lord. Counsel, no incognito inspector would offer his identification for inspection. It's quite up to the question. Yeah, this makes no sense. It's a fake inspector. Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly the papers were fake. Cleto Capo, you're a genius! As we say in Italia, takes a thief to recognize another, eh? And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? It became really annoying. He said, you are under investigation. So I took his papers from him and chased him out to the park. It was fantastico! And look, here's the identification. So he stole it from the man? He had it coming. He was very scared. But he wasn't that who he said he was. The missing man, maybe? Yeah. Indeed, the person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence. But I like them. Alright. No, let us return to the witness's testimony. Alright, let's take a look at it. Well, I suppose we should see what this inspector's identification looks like inside. Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Out of interest, what name is given? Probably just something plucked out of the air. It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? The Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me, but how? The department identification number details are all correct as well. So when have you known those? Do you mean to say, I know it seems incredible, but yes, I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. But that's unbelievable. This is the real thing after all? Oh. Okay then. The missing man you think is the Reaper? Alright, we're gonna go back to the name.
Hold it!
I got an idea. Never mind. Alright.
Objection!
Okay, yeah, it does have something to do with you. I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade. Why, Miss Lestrade? What is your intention here, Counsel? Is this really a fake or is it genuine? That's the question, which we can't answer ourselves.
Objection! Don't
be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective would allow his or her identification to be stolen. But that is the bus's. No question about it. Can't be. As I suspected, the undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League's enrollment on the day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying out an incognito investigation. He's on his ass. Order! Order! So no, Naomi, he actually was investigating. But why would he announce it? But the boss had his identification stolen. He would have reported it straight away. I mean, he was always honest with me about it. If you lost some of it, report it once, he'd say. Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it? Ah, that makes sense. What are you saying? Unable to? You're not suggesting. Yes, it's quite possible that he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen. No. That's wild. Order! The defense point posits that the victim was killed the day before his body discovered at a different location. You two have anything to say about that?
I know nothing! I don't know nothing!
Pull this up together, Peppino. Mon Dieu, you could behave a little more like a master criminal than that, none?
wish I returned to Italia! Stop climbing, Pepino, please! I... Lume! Stop your running and start talking! Well, I believe the court will need to hear your story and consider the greater to the... I know nothing! I don't know nothing! But you will tell everything. You will face the worst possible outcome. You will dry your eyes and testify again. About these ID papers and the precise circumstances under which you came by them. Crying out loud. Literally. I'm sorry I had to make all these weird noises. These crybabies. We took him this the Captain Fuzzy Night at our secret hideout. Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let her go that day, just in case. He took the man's identification from him and shut to him in a room next to ours. It might have been a little tussle, but we did him no harm. And the next morning we let him go. He spent the night in a nice room. Oh no! Rip Burger. It wasn't nothing like prison, really. So they kidnapped Gregson. This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man? What? No, see, no! It was not like a prison. It was a very comfortable and a calm and a happy. Couple? It was never part of my plan. I swear it. So, see, it was my fault. I just didn't got the date to the belly ball. I won a little a day. But I think it's your fault. No, I don't. No, boy, couple. It is not fair. My salmon patty? Huh. Interesting. No time for squabbling back at the prison, gentlemen. Oh, I don't believe this. How could you have been such a... been a real detective? As for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination. So on the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined in this pair's hideout. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's weird. A salmon patty? Detective and the ID. Two days we took a prisoner and kept him for the night at our secret hideout.
Hold it!
Do you realize what you're saying? Yeah, believe me, I never intended for that to happen. And I'm sure the detective didn't intend it either. Do you think? But what's it with nothing else I could do? See? Nothing else! This was the climb for the couple. It was at the end of his wits. Before Pepino said nasty way to go to the mastermind. Yeah. You got this, Naomi. I know you know what you're doing. What about this hideout of yours? You know that he is behind the park on Lime Street. It's for 2 days. It was an inspired idea for the couple here. Impulsive idea, I would say. No, not impulsive, inspired. Couple? What am I supposed to say to that up, you know? And it was in the house prescribed that you confined Inspector Gregson, was it? You have to remember, I was under the impression that he was a pretender, not a real inspector. It doesn't quite add up, though. If you didn't think the man was a real inspector, there would have been no reason to take him prisoner, would there? True. Nonetheless, but we could be completely certain. Even though I didn't think he was a real detective, I was too scared to let him go that day just in case.
Hold it!
Too scared? Why? Because he come to the park. We didn't know. There was a chance that he did see through my plan. And if that wasn't the case, I'll go straight to the police station to blow the whistle on us. If he was just a feigning to be an inspector, was up to no good, huh? Without a doubt. I think most people agree that it's you two who are up to no good. Well, see, you may be right. A couple? The point is, we were not able to escape England immediately. That is why we had no choice but to take Simon prisoner. What I don't understand is why the inspector felt the need to show you his ID in the first place. See, I asked myself the same question. Yeah, why would he? He was then tells the names and addresses of all the people who we took 5 shillings from that day. I have forgotten what name he said, but the address, it startled me. See, I guess Scotland Yard, Homicide Division said. What? I didn't like your face, Peppino. Anyway, I was not rude. I just politely asked him why he said that. And that's when he started to say he was an inspector. A week afterwards, he took out his ID. What was Inspector Gregson playing at? Yeah, this makes no sense. Gregson's not like that. Tell Cole what happened next. You took him back to your hideout, you say? See, we took the man's ID from him and shut him next to ours. That brings this ID book here, correct? That being this ID book here. See, that is the other one! What makes you believe there was a forgery? I've never seen a real one, of course! What was so suspicious of someone? Although I was thinking it must be false, so a couple? It is just like Peppino has said. We were convinced it was not genuine. And so together, the hilarious police, we took the man captive. Oh boy. Oh boy. All we did was shove him inside the locked room. Then we made preparations to transport all of the money. In for a penny, in for a pound. Oh, tussle we did. No arm.
Hold it!
Keep pressing for now, I guess. What do you mean by a little tussle exactly? Well, it was nothing, just a minor incident. The postal inspector, he was a real piece of the work, eh, couple? What happened? It was a disaster. We give him a nice room. What does he do, huh? In the middle of the night, he tries to escape up through the ventilator. Into the toy. Can you blame him? We chased him, young sir. We caught him again. Can you blame us? Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your haste, did you? Sut, what do you think we are? Of course not. I simply caught hold of him again and took him back to the room. Oh?
Excuse me!
I have a bad feeling about this. Mr. Dabrowski, is something wrong? Me? Something Mr. Deverseau just said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. What was that all about? So, thought I'm having right now. Remember the gossip guy? How he had that injury on his neck? What if that came from this tussle? I'm thinking we might have a freaking liar. Super liar. Cavolo, times like that, you don't want to have the capo after you, believe me. And I speak from personal experienza. Personal experience? That's easy enough, Peppino. There's no need to say more. The truth is, the night before we put the red-headed league plan into action, I was scared. I was not a fan of the couple, but I tried to run away. It's a shame you didn't manage it. But the couple here, he came after me like a turbine, huh? He dragged me back to the house, kicking and screaming. I'll have no the boost to prove it. Hey, couple? What did you say? You want to see my fantastical bruises? That's enough now, Peppino. No one wants to look at any part of you. What did I do, I assure you, or I don't. I assure you, or I don't. You do now! Otherwise, if everybody wants to see, then I do it. It's the same thing as the gossip guy. That's huge. The gossip guy was Inspector Gregson in disguise. Or I mean, was pretending to be Inspector Gregson. That's the way to word it. Girl, you see, it's still very visible, eh? That red ring around your neck? Got that when you were dragged back to the house? See, the couple sometimes is very rough. And I said that's enough. Peppino's neck has nothing to do with what we were talking about. You have my word. Yes. What's your opinion, Consul? About this red ring around Mr. De Rossi's neck. I wonder, does it matter? It's important. Mr. De Rossi, I'm going to have to ask you to amend your testimony with details about that mark on your neck. Hi, couple. You see? Everyone's interested in what I say, huh? Ugh. Well, you amend your testimony as requested, Mr. De Rossi. See, if you really wanted to know. Tried to escape, but the capo put the collar on him and dragged him back. Just look at De Rossi's neck, Naomi. Wait, collar? What collar?
Hold it!
Are you saying that red mark was caused by... See, a big collar made from the leather. A leather collar? Oh my god, Naomi, no! No! That's not what I meant! Ah! No, not even that. I'm talking about the mark. Who else did we just see recently that had a mark around his neck? Ignore the collar part. Talk about the mark. Alright, well, we're not talking about the collar. I'm talking about... because you missed a bit. Yeah, that's the point. This is true, Mr. De Rousseau. What? We had the Saint Bernadette when I was younger. It is a souvenir from that time with a very strong chain. A strong chain? And you put that around your friend's neck? I'm sorry, I was so angry that he was leaving me alone. He did not have to tie the chain to the leg of the bed, to the leg of the bed, though, huh? I would not have tried to run again. You didn't do that in Inspector Gregson as well, did you? Treated the people equal, a couple here's motto, eh? It's starting to sound a lot more like a prison all of a sudden. Yeah. Lips gossip is very suspicious right now. The couple was a tough, but the couple was a rough. I should have done it. So the following morning, when you released the inspector, he had the red finger on his neck, just like me. Pino, s'il vous plaît, leave it now. Oh my god, Naomi bad. And you know, the couple here, you don't wanna think with them, well, the protector is not so bad. Yeah, now we can just present the picture. You see, there's no ring on his neck.
Objection!
So the day before his body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito. No, it was not like that. It was the opposite. It was an invitation to stay. It was only... How you describe it, there's one glaring inconsistency that remains. What inconsistency is this, Counsel? I would ask the court to look closely at this photograph of the victim, Inspector Gregson. You will see that there is no red ring visible around his neck. But that makes no sense. It was me who took the collar of the man in the morning. I saw the red bruises on his neck just like I have. Given that the mark is so clearly visible on this witness's neck, we expect to see bruising on the victim who was put in the collar more recently than Mr. De Rossi. Indeed, this is most peculiar. But what we tell you, We say this from the beginning many times. Peppino was late. Some man to see photograph. Is someone different to see my we helped kept us at night? Yup. Order! It would appear then that on the day before the incident, the man who visited the park on Lime Street posing as incognito inspector was not Inspector Gregson at all.
Objection!
If that's true, however, how do you explain the inspector's ID? This is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such an important item from the inspector. The prosecution made that assertion itself. Ooh. Rip. We also know the inspector had made a note about the redhead leak in his diary for that day. Which surely means we can't divorce the two events completely. The inconsistency noted by the defense is most troubling. If it were the real Inspector Gregson whom these two red-headed gentlemen encountered, the fact that no bruising could be seen around his neck defies explanation. But equally, if they actually encounter an imposter, how did that person come to be in possession of the real inspector's identification? Does the defense have some plausible explanation, counsel? The whole thing defies explanation. It is for precisely these occasions that we need to keep meticulous notes in the court record, Mr. Naruhodo. Because those are the facts, and the facts cannot lie. No, the facts can't lie. Even when they point to something so incredible it's almost unbelievable. Well, my lord, the true identity of the person who turned up in the park for the red-headed league's enrollment is revealed by information in the court record, I believe. Good gracious. Very tantalizing, Mr. Naruhodo. So why don't you help us all to see whatever truth it is that you have apparently seen? Who exactly was this inspector that appeared before Mr. De Rousseau and Mr. De Rossi? It was an imposter. Though it seems incredible, I admit, the undeniable facts point to only one thing. Since no bruising can be seen on the victim's neck, the person who these two red-headed men took prisoner that day cannot have been Inspector Gregson.
In other words, your whole argument up to now has been a waste of time.
Objection!
No. On the contrary, I haven't finished. What? There's no bruising on the victim's neck, so the question immediately posed next is, who exactly was this man in the park on Line Street found to be carrying Inspector Gregson's ID? See, that's right! We tell the same story every time! What this man was, the couple dragged him from a pillar to a post with a dog collar, eh? Do hope you know it was not so harsh as you say, huh? So who was that the false inspector, eh? Who was he? Clearly the defense has an idea about that. About the true identity of the man these two in prison that night. We do! Must ask the counsel for the defense to elaborate post-haste. Or to the witness's counter in the park posing Inspector Gregson. Where are you? Gossip!
Take that!
Goodness me, isn't that... One of the witnesses who was in the stand in this very courtroom earlier today. A nameless man whose only occupation appears to be peddling hearsay to passersby.
Objection!
What on earth would a street seller be doing with a police inspector's ID papers? Witnesses, is this the man or not? What's happened to his lip? Ah! See, this man is not for the red-headed guy. He's looking for the twisted lip league, no? Perhaps rather than making such a rash claim next time, you should bite your lip instead. It seems improbable, yes, but one undeniable fact remains. During his testimony earlier, I noticed something around the man's neck. A red ring of bruising. Yup. Eh? What? Defense demands that Mr. Gossip be brought back to the stand. Oh, no. Let's go. Order! Bailiff, bring the aforementioned witness back into the courtroom. Immediately. Oh boy. Yup. Well, I never. An undeniable ring of bruising indeed. And identical to that of the witness beside him. No, what's going on here, eh? Nobody said this me. It's a birthmark, is it? Isn't it? A birthmark, you say? I assume the reason you've been recalled to the stand has been explained to you. Somebody but inspected again. But I'm telling you, you've got it all wrong as usual. You're denying all knowledge of it? The costume. Are you trying to kill me with this nonsense, eh? Well, at least you'll have more stories to peddle back on Fresno Street, won't you? Now, we're going to need you to testify again. And you, Mr. DeRossi, I'm sure you'll cooperate, won't you? You have any choice? You're in big trouble, I couple. I like that they're separated now. Quite enough dilatory chatter. Proceed with the testimony. Okay. Let's find out. Trying to revisit. The man who claimed to be instructed that day was definitely not this man. He's right, see? I think we would have fixed those grand lips, huh? I never leave the street late. I have no interest in any red-headed geek. I'm all alone in the world, me. I have no kinfolk or nothing. I don't think we have something like that. Just look at me, yeah? Does it look like clearly off a disguise with a face like this? It would certainly appear that we have the wrong man. What have I been telling you, huh? There was no need for this pointless testimony. See, it's late. I'm just a simple peddler, remember? Fresno Street's all I know. I'm gonna tell you to buy a police inspector's identification book, yeah? Well, yes, that's hard to explain, but... Brief cross-examination, I think, Counsel. Very brief. Uh, isn't there anyone in this courtroom thinks I might be onto something? I stand steadfast at your side as always, Mr. Naruhodo. Man, they really don't think I got this at all. I don't have evidence, though, at the moment. Oh my god. We're gonna focus on him. Hold on, hold on, no. Naomi? That's Mr. Vigil. That's absolutely Mr. Vigil. Yeah! This is Mr. Vigil. I don't know. I'm gonna start pressing for now. I need to find the right time to use that. I can't believe I didn't see that before. I don't know, just the hair and eyebrows just randomly got me. It's absolutely him. I just don't know how to present that.
Hold it!
Press for now until we get an idea. So you say, but how can you be quite so certain? You may have never seen it. It was very early. It was like in the beginning. Need to answer the test, monsieur. Suddenly this is obvious none. Because I have never before seen lips like this. Nevertheless, there's a clear red mark around Mr. Gossip's neck. It's very much like that left behind on the neck of your colleague by your prized collar. Oh dear, it's like you're trying to wring my neck. It does look very much like on my neck though, eh? No, this is both my blood. The biggest dips to die for. I they blocked the mode when they made me. For the first time in my life, I feel lucky to have been born with red hair. I thought being Japanese made you stand out in London. Maintain that you've never seen this man before. Please, sir, this winter pressing flames in my hair. So fierce pride has outgrown the frustration with your hair now, has it? I see. You're gonna forget those grand lips.
Hold it!
Well, yes, I don't imagine I'll forget those lips in a hurry either. That's what I am saying. For some reason, it makes me want to eat. What the Fabian call it? And Claire? You know, I've never seen the hair as black as yours before either. Likewise, I'd never seen red hair like yours until I came to Bryn. See, maybe he's a now tonight, huh? Maybe all the people from this man's country have the grand lips. No, lad, that was bullied to Fresno Street. I've never left. But that isn't the problem, see? You definitely didn't go to the park on Line Street that day, Mr. Gossip. No, you didn't see one of his street, eh?
Hold it!
So, you've heard the red-headed leak, had you? You don't get the name like Gossip for nothing, eh? It's my business to know what's going up on town. I slipped a tasty tidbit to the few redheads that came past me. Between this, Aim gets the witch to cough up foot. Well, he does have a very red nose if that counts. Who knows? Wow. As you can see, my aunt has not got a hint of that in it. Geese, little streets my punch. Could we signaling up some other part of town?
Is that
No,
so?
sir, that's likely. Oh.
Excuse me.
I'm glad I just pressed for now. Mr. Rousseau. Ugh. V? Can I help you? Did Mr. Gauss's words just now lead you to remember something relevant, perhaps? I don't think so. Could be an allergy, yeah. You'll see the other day when I was looking for a place near the park, a small house or something. To be the headquarters of a red-headed league, yes. I visited a housing agent on Lime Street and said I saw him. This man was paying money to the agent. What? Mr. Gossip, with a housing agent? He had some kind of contract in his hand, and they were clearly discussing terms. But no, you're mistaken, chum. I've never let this seat me, like I said before. You mistaken me for someone else. Someone with his same face. No, the couple is light. I remember it too. It was a painting the man with the big notes. With notes? Like I said, that was it to be. I was curious why this man with the dirty clothes had so much money. So I looked at the name on the papers. And what name was written? Mr. Gossip? No, this man, he lies. He tells you he has no name. But in fact, his name is Hugh Boone, huh? The board was his? He owns the place Gregson's body was found. It's been Mr. Gossip that thinks. No! I'm a peddler of tidbits of information like a seed on Felicity Street, and that's that. I don't much like talking about my personal life. Indeed. And it's not the intention of the court to invade the privacy of witnesses. Very well, I shall respect your wishes, sir. The aforementioned names shall be redacted from all court records of this trial, assuming no reduction.
Objection.
Yeah. Sorry, my lord, the defense does object. Because the name just mentioned has a very deep significance to this case. Good gracious, do you similarly object, Prosecutor Sogi? As it happens, my lord, that particular name has already been mentioned during today's proceedings. I never, in what capacity? You Boone? The name of the leaseholder of the room. Let me put this very simply. The victim's body was discovered in your rented room. I suggest, sir, that you start talking. Well, right. I suppose it might be the case, eh? Ooh. So your real name is Hugh Boone? Which is between us, I don't like to throw me on trumpet, but there's no finer peddler to be in So I would be able to afford a created room in the funny down Backstreet Townhouse. You do? But it was 6 months ago and paid the rent to the agent on Lime Street. I remember now. There were 2 vulgar red hits in there last time. Yeah, he's lying. It's not. Hugh Boone's just his alias name. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. He's been going there the past 10 years. Hey? Felix the Vulcan is not me. Think again, Peppino. Why didn't you bring this up before? I don't know. Like I told you already. I don't like talking about personal life. I'm a tidbit peddler as far as anyone else is concerned. No fuss. update your testimony to include this most surprising revelation, Mr. Boone. I don't know, Naomi. It's been missed. So the leaseholder Scotland Yard has been looking for since the body was discovered. Has been here under our noses all along. I've been soon where the fellows found this too. What difference it makes. Yeah. I know, Naomi. So much is coming out now.
Hold it!
So, you live in that room presumably, do you? No, there's no bed, is there? Just a desk. Oh yeah, then why would you want to rent it? I think it should have said really. Then how about the notice board in there? Which is covered from top to bottom with confidential documents the police should have access to. That was the point. The inspector must have brought it along. It's only the other bits and bobs that belong to me. Just for the chill and that. People don't generally carry enormous notice boards around with them. The real question is, why was Inspector Gretz killed there in your room? Well, obviously, you have not the faintest idea. I mean, it's causing me no end of bother, to be honest. It seems to me that Mr. Boone, with rather as little is known about his room as possible for some reason. Yes, it does come across that way. More importantly, knowing that the scene of the crime is actually his room completely changes things. In particular, there's one part of his testimony that's really bothering me now. That's how I'm finally going to undo this man. Well, now I can present the picture. This one. Now, I can't look at the back, but just the fact this picture was even at the room.
Objection!
Yep. If you have no kinfolk, as you put it, see, why is it that among the sparse furnishings we found this photograph in the room? Ugh. I presume as you've been renting the room, that this photograph belongs to you. Yeah. Does it not? Oh, well... Mr. Boone, drop the pretense and tell the court exactly who you really are. What do you mean? Oh, Panda, I keep telling you so. Oh, there's nothing on there. I mean, I could look at it quick. Yeah, there's nothing on here. It just shows him with a good lip. Don't bother with me. Please, just leave it alone. As the man says, leave it alone. Whatever the truth is about this man's life, it has no bearing on his case. Because it's simply not possible to impersonate Inspector Gregson.
Objection!
How can you be so sure? Just look at the man. No amount of disguise could ever hide those unmissable features.
Objection!
But what if we were to look at this the other way around? What do you mean? Yes, Counsel, what do you mean? Well, there's no denying that Mr. Boone's lip is very prominent indeed. But consider the possibility that his prominent lip is itself part of an elaborate disguise. Then hiding a prominent feature, in other words, revealing his true face, would make an utterly impenetrable disguise. Will you agree, Mr. Hugh Boone? Good witness, please don't hide the truth from this court. If that's a disguise, then underneath it, straight then he must be. Yes, that's right. There's really only one person he could really be. My lord, Nance believes it can reveal Mr. Boone's true identity to the court. No, please, no. Very well then, Counsel. What is the true identity of this peddler who's simply running out gossip on the street? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boop. Boop. Boop.
Take that!
Mr. Vigil. Your real name is actually Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Daily Vigil. Yeah! It's a name I encountered yesterday, my lord. It has to do with a certain client of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. The young gentlewoman came to the detective asking him to locate her missing husband. Which was missing, yes, since yesterday because he was kidnapped overnight. That makes more sense now. The woman in this photograph, in fact, this was Mrs. Vigil. What? From what I understand, you haven't returned home since the night before the inspector was found dead. But of course, on that night, you were being held captive by the two red-headed league men. Last night, you were put up by the prosecution service in preparation for testifying in this trial. Because we've been led to believe that you, Miss Venus, and Mr. Sandwich are all homeless. The important witnesses in this case, we needed to know where we could find you, of course. That explains why you've not only been unable to return home, but also unable to contact your wife. You've been beside yourself with worry waiting for you at the Vigil residence. No, not just those are the meetings. I don't have this idea. What I'm talking about? Really? I'm a simple enough. It's a simple enough matter to confirm my suspicions. All we have to do is pull off that disguise. Please. Bailiff, bring soap, a sponge, and a wash bowl at once. Mr. Russo and Mr. Jesse, you will restrain the witness. Wait, what? What? Why are those two restraining the witness? Huh? Oui, my lord. Si, my lord. Why? No, stop. Get up, please. Don't. There we go. It's fake lips. The lips were fake. Not even allergies. That's wild. Well, we are now seeing your true features, I presume. That's... Lift your head, sir, so the court can see your face. It would appear that the defense counsel's assertion was entirely correct. He was hiding the clothes the whole time. This has all been very elaborate deception. Don't worry about it. So, witnesses, tell the court. Have you seen this man before? I don't believe it, but... See! There is no question! This is the inspector we saw in the park! Extraordinary. On the day of the Red-Headed League enrollment, the man claiming the Inspector Gregson appeared before Mr. de Rousseau and Mr. de Rossi in the park was you disguised as an inspector, or rather, was you posing the inspector in no disguise at all. Mr. Vigil was formerly employed as a chief warder at Barclay Prison. Chief warder? Then your career had promise. Why? You quite possibly become the future governor of the prison. On earth have you been doing peddling tittle-tattle on Fresno Street? Well, it's been 10 years since Mr. Vigil worked at the prison. 10 years. I'm really dreadfully sorry about all of this. Yes, it's true. I am Daily Vigil. And you were the chief warder of Barclay Prison 10 years ago? So where did Mr. Hugh Boone come from? Boone is the other me. It's a name I invented. Well, evidently there is a great deal under the surface here. I'll explain everything. I'll tell you just how wretched my life has become. Oh, as you say, it was 10 years ago now that my employment at Barclay's chief warder came to an end. Having left the prison service, I searched for some new occupation by which to earn a wage. But times were hard in London, and I found no suitable engagements at all. In desperation one day, I turned my hand at selling wares on Fresno Street. But your wife appears to know nothing of this. She still maintains that you are the chief warder of Barclay Prison. I was utterly determined that my wife should not know of my failings, which is why I've never told her. I opened an account at the bank under the name of Hugh Boone. I rented the cheapest room I could find on Fresno Street. The scene of the very crime we're investigating. Yes, that's right. A place from which I could emerge every morning at 8 as a squalid peddler. And transform myself back every evening at 5 into a well-dressed man about town before returning home. That quickly became my daily routine. Well, there you go, Naomi. He practiced being able to wear both. I was puzzled by the lack of furniture in the room, but that explains it. But why on earth didn't you just tell us this in the first place? I have a wife, sir, and 2 sons. And without wishing to sound so conceited, they regard me with some pride. I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them. So instead you decided to conceal your occupation from them? Yes. I've made such a terrible mess of everything. No, one thing doesn't add up. Remember how many tidbits of information you could sell to passing gentlemen, even at 6 pence apiece? You couldn't hope to match the salary you must have commanded as chief warder at the prison. Very true. To have kept your family in comfort, despite 10 years of somewhat misbegotten employment. Yeah, there's much more behind the scenes. That was all thanks to Inspector Gregson. What? Inspector Gregson? What on earth? It was some years after I invented Boone to begin my other life. Go me! Heck! You silly bun. Oh, what colors do you wish to transform me into? Black or monochrome? I could try that on VC Face. Let's see. There you go. That was actually easy. There you go. I got grayscale. Perfect. The inspector has recognized me one day. Do you mean to say the victim was an acquaintance of yours? Interesting. So Gregson and Vigil knew each other. I knew him from my time working at the prison. When he saw what I'd become, he was deeply troubled for me and my family. And from that day forward, he visited me on Fresno Street with increasing regularity. Then one day, He asked me if I would carry out a secret assignment for him. A secret? What was it? I was to impersonate the inspector. What? Impersonate him? Wait, what? Gregson, what are you plotting? Why be impersonated? Gregson seems to be very, he seems to be suspicious now. Why? We always met in that little room so the inspector could brief me. Visit Orxies tomorrow and take a statement from the proprietress. It was always something along those lines. Surveillance work, interviewing people. On those occasions, he would lend me his ID so people would believe who I was. The instructions were to make an impression, to let people know that Inspector Gregson had been at work. Oh. For those services, he compensated me financially. Oh, you know what? Gregson was probably using a body double so that he could keep doing his own investigations. He compensated me financially. Scotland Yard Inspector willingly relinquished his ID into your care with intent to deceive? That, as I'm sure I need not point out, is a very serious criminal offense. But why? What was the point of you impersonating him? I truthfully do not know. All I can say is that the inspector warned me on numerous occasions. Now remember, Vigil, I need your solemn word. You don't blab about this to anyone, right? Ever. Even if, well, if I end up a croaker. Oh. Even if he ended up dead. In time, he started to bring papers with him to the room as well. It became something of a second office for him. So, in fact, the person who declared himself to be Inspector Gregson at the park on Lime Street was really... Yes, it was me, acting on the inspector's orders. As usual, I ruined my boon disguise, and then went as instructed to park armed with the inspector's ID book. It never occurred to me that the bruise on my neck might give me away. This is huge. What was Gregson up to? Nothing to do with the Reaper. Unless Gregson was the Reaper of all people. Well, it seemed this confession completely destroys the defense's case. Explain yourself, Prosecutor Sogi. I learned Friend's assertion was as follows. The victim was killed at another location on a day before his corpse was discovered, at the hands of these two red-headed league men when he imprisoned the inspector. Oh, he's such a wimp! No, that can't be. Ew. After all. So to sum it up, Naomi, Vigil was working with Gregson. He was getting paid by Gregson to impersonate him. That is how he got his money. Okay. And yeah, he did his Hugh Boone disguise. Oh. Yeah. He said that's just what he kept doing, and that even if Gregson died, Vigil was not allowed to tell anybody that this was happening. And Vigil doesn't know why he he was doing this anyway. Yeah. The inspector went to the park that day. It was me. Oh goodness. Finally, we have clarity. It had nothing to do with this murder and the inspector. And merci, Monsieur de la Defense, for doing it. What? Ah! No, now we have no other person to blame. Order, order, order! Indeed, it would appear that we have reached a de facto conclusion of sorts. These witnesses had no involvement in the murder of the victim, as proven somewhat ironically by the defense. I hereby call an end to the cross-examination. Uh-oh.
Hold it!
Wait, what? Blame D? Pardon me, my lord, but with your permission, I would like to pose one further question to the witness. Kazuma? What question, Counsel? It concerns the events of 10 years ago. I believe you would have been present at a very significant execution that was carried out at the time. Wow! Oh, heckin' darn it. 10 years ago? Or 10 years ago? Execution of the professor! Genshin Asogi! I want to know exactly what your involvement was. Oh! Answer me, man! One moment, Counsel. Is this related to the current case? Naturally. It is the prosecution's belief that this case and the events of 10 years ago are inextricably linked. Does the defense concur, Counsel? Kazuma, you're not yourself. Not as calm and collected as usual. Kazuma-sama, no wonder he's acting this way. Mr. Vigil's memories of what happened 10 years ago will tell the tale of Genshin Asogi's last moments. His own father. I know, I do understand that. And so? Prosecutor Asogi, I genuinely believe that this question requires an answer in order to learn the truth behind Inspector Gregson's death. I need you to trust me. Please. Very well. The defense has no objection. I see. In that case, you will answer the question, witness. I need to know, too, that the truth is, I remember very little of that time. Forgotten? I'm sorry to say yes. As I said, I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. That's a lie. For some peculiar reason, my memory of the events leading up to that moment is extremely hazy. Does that not strike you as strange, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry. Well, 10 years is a long time. But to have forgotten the reason why you left such an important job? Yes, you're right. And not only that, Mr. Vigil's claim contradicts what we already know. The human spirit is a fragile thing. It's broken all too easily. Which is why we have a tendency to wrap it up for protection. Sorry? The human spirit? I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean. When we experience pain and suffering that we feel unable to bear, we block it out, obliterated from our memories, sealed away. Never truly leaves us. If the seal is broken, the memories resurface. And when they do, that fragile spirit may finally be crushed. But I really don't... Kazuma-sama... But if it must be crushed, then so be it. The truth will not stay buried. It's coming out one way or another. Right. Now I understand. It's clear what his intentions are. He means to expose the truth at any cost. Jeez. Perhaps if I point out the contradiction in what Mr. Vigil claimed earlier, it might cause some crucial memories to return to him. But should I? Should I present the evidence or not? Do it! I have no idea how this is going to go, but this is a court of law, and I have a duty to pursue the truth. Mr. Vigil, I'd like you to look at this. Evidence that clearly contradicts your version of events. Dismissal notice!
Take that!
A few months ago, you made the following statement. I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. Well, yes. In other words, you claim to have left the post of Chief Warden of your own volition. Well, yes, of course. Why? Tell me. Do you remember seeing this document before? No, I don't. This is a dismissal notice ordering the immediate termination of a prison staff member's employment. Dismissal notice? And the name on the notice is yours, Mr. Vigil. What? What? It's mine? So you didn't resign from the prison service at all. For some reason, you were dismissed as chief warder from Barclay. No, there's been some mistake. I'm sure I tendered my resignation. This dismissal notice is nonsense. Isn't it? If you were forcibly dismissed, there must have been good reason. Clearly, you did something. Mr. Vigil, it's time to break the seal and have you remember. According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on 17th June 10 years ago. And on that day, something very serious took place at Barclay Prison. The 17th of June? What was that? The professor's execution? Professor? As you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would have been present throughout the proceedings. It does sound familiar. And yet, that execution never took place. The convict, ostensibly executed earlier that day, later re-emerged from his grave. The convict came back to life? It was charged, Naomi. I've had a better charger, so it's been easier to charge it now. In the cemetery in the middle of the night, there was a witness. However, the witness claims that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave, a gunshot rang out from over his shoulder, and the bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly. Those may have been the professor's actual last moments. Yes. Seeing as you were in charge of overseeing executions at the time, you must know the truth about what really happened. It's in your head, somewhere deep down. Yeah. No, it's not that he became the Reaper, it's that he tried to fix his mistake with the execution. Because the execution failed. Or didn't happen. So he killed him so that the truth didn't come out. Well, Chief Warder Daily Vigil, I I know though there are memories in your head that can explain what happened on 17th June 10 years ago. And now it's time for you to drag them up. Uh, uh, Mr. Vigil? Yes, the whole prison. It was complete chaos. The prisoner escaped. He was killed in the cemetery. The shocking news ripped through Barclay like a hurricane. What? What? So he is. Yeah, so he's admitting that the professor escaped. Order! 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 Do you mean to say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories of the time have returned? It's like some floodgates have been opened. The images. Oops. Oh my goodness. The papers. There were reports, articles about a man who'd seen a ghost. Yes, Aunt Drebber. But surely those reports were exaggerated. No, they're real. There were traces at the scene. Traces of what? In Logate Cemetery, at plot number 139. Blood. Lots of blood. That's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there. The depths of conspiracy and depravity from which this tale is emerging are quite staggering. I've reviewed the police records from that time extensively. Our investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. And the conclusion reached by the investigation team was... No, Naomi. The professor was killed at the cemetery. He escaped execution. And then somebody killed him at the graveyard. That member of the prison staff must have been involved. Are you suggesting that prison warder abetted the man's bid for freedom? Yes, and I was suspected of doing it. Using that mass murder's execution as a way to help him escape. Did what? I remember now. The horror of it all is coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the execution, some detectives came to the prison. I was called to the governor's office at the top of the watchtower. I'm sorry, dude. This is serious business, but I can't help you now. Is Chief Warder responsible for overseeing the execution of 4A? No, Naomi, there was still a body. He was buried there. It's the fact that there was all that blood there that was the problem. There should not have been all that blood, because he should have been dead beforehand. Well, it seems the fellows at Scotland Yard want to have a few wee words with you about it. You'd better pack your things, laddie. You're to attend in person. As soon as he told me that, I just went completely blank. And the next thing I knew, Professor, the most hate killer in our country's history. And I let him escape. I'm finished. My life is over. Did he try to jump out the window and commit suicide? trying to commit suicide. Order! Bailiff! Fetch a doctor at once! Court is adjourned for today with immediate effect.
So, with Mr.
Wow.
Vigil's collapse, proceedings came to an abrupt end for the day. Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer, appearing like a cursed ghost ship on a foggy ocean. Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Vigil, Kazuma, and Gregson. All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past. But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through the gloom and shine on those tragic events was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
We're almost there. Oh, to be continued. All right. Well, investigation comes up next. So that is actually going to be it for tonight. Oh, man. There is so much we still don't know. It's kind of wild. I don't know what to think. Ugh. I don't know what's coming next. Hmm. I'll have to think about this for. We'll have to see where this game leads us next week. Because I'm honestly uncertain. But yeah, it's going to be it for tonight. Ant crawling around. Gotta kill it. But yeah, night night, Naomi. And take care of everybody else who is here. Very much appreciate you all as always. I'll be live tomorrow. Gonna finish up Claire on hardcore and start Leon second run. I have an idea of how far I'll go. And then we'll see what happens the rest of the week. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, take care, everybody. Mwah. I'll see you then.